Have you been around? Have you done your share of coming down of different things that people do? Have you been aware you got brothers and sisters who care about what's gonna happen to you in a year from now? Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they're giving away, and we all can live together. Said I'm talking about together now. Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they're giving away, and we all can live together. Did you pay your dues? Did you read the news this morning when the paper landed in your yard? Do you know their names? Can you play their games without losing track and coming down too hard? Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they're giving away, when we all can live together. Said I'm talking about together now. Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they're giving away, when we all can live together. Said I'm talking about together now. You know I'll be standing by to help you if you're worried. No more sadness, no more sorrow, and no more bad times. Every day comes sunshine, every day everybody laughing, walking together by the river, together and laughing. Everybody singing together, everybody laughing. Good time, good time, good time. Ooh, call my name. I'll be there if you're worried. I will help you, baby, if you're worried. I'm gonna share the land.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Good morning. Good morning on this crazy weather Sunday morning. Good morning to everybody online. How's everybody doing? Good. I'm Helen Fellows, Spiritual Director here at the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto, and we are a hub for living well, and what we celebrate is you and spirit. Spirit that is everywhere present, that is waiting to be actualized through us, as us. And we come together in community, inspiration, connection, wellness, and happiness. We believe that all people from all walks of life, race, religion, are expressions of this one universal presence of love, of peace, of joy, of bliss, spirit. And so, in the words of Ernest Holmes, there is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. You can use it to better your life, and you can use it to better the lives of others. And so with that, we recognize that this spiritual home is situated on the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Mississaugas of the New Credit First Nations. And we also recognize the spiritual mystics and the masters that have walked this earth plane and that have left their imprint, their teachings for us to learn from. So welcome to your spiritual home. And to start off, I am going to invite Aidan, our vocalist this morning, Aidan Farrell, to start off with our invocation song.
To you, my love, my soul sings out. To you, my soul sings out. To you, my love, my soul sings out. To you, my love, my life, you are my strength. You carry me on your wings. You're in my soul. You're in my heart. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to my soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to your constant lessons. They flow to me like rivers to my heart. You are my life. You set me free, and I love you forever and ever and ever. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you. My soul sings out to you, my love. My soul sings out to you.
Wow, thank you. Let's take a breath in. And breathing in love, breathing out peace. Breathing into all the lessons like a river ever flowing out into the ocean. I am the soul. I am the light divine. I am love. I am will. I am trust. I am understanding. I am wisdom. I am order. I am power. I am that I am. I am part of a tremendous whole whose nature is goodness and love. It is the divine nature, this inevitable union of connection to the I am, that I consciously walk and talk. I am one with the infinite until it becomes dynamic. And I know that I am that I am. I am recognizing that spiritual life is real life. I surround myself with this love, for it is the key to joyous living. And so once again, let's breathe in. Breathing in the love, the joy, the peace, the power, the presence. Breathing out the peace, the joy, the love, the presence, the gratitude. And take this moment to recognize something that you are grateful for today. Something you are grateful for. As we stand up and sing, I am grateful for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. I said thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. This blessed, this blessed, this blessed life. I said this blessed, this blessed, this blessed life. Yeah. day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Say thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. I said this healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this 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 healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. I said thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day.
Yay! And give it up for Brendan and Dominique and Rustin and Brian and Carrie, along with Aiden. You guys are awesome! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh. All right, you ready for some more? I'm going to invite up to the front here our practitioner of the day, Nick Michelli. So come on up, Nick. Do you want me to move these just in case? Thank you.
Oh, wait. Here we are. So I'm going to start my talk by acknowledging Judy. Judy recommended me to read this month's Science of Mind magazine for inspiration, and I found a whole lot of inspiration there. I'm going to read a quote to start. So you and I want to take our part in the building of a better world where there is peace, prosperity, and goodwill without coercion. A world where there is individual and collective security and freedom without fear. A world where there is unity without uniformity. A world where each may run as fast and as far as they wish without interfering with somebody else. That actually came from Ernest Holmes, and it came from a radio program that he had in the 40s and 50s. This week I got inspired. Quite a few wonderful things happened. I was reading the quotes, the readings of the day after the fact. I read the reading for February the 5th just this week and really spoke to me. I lead a home group with Fred. We met, one of the other practitioners here, and I did that on Tuesday evening. And on Wednesday morning, I had a dream, and I'm gonna talk about another one of the things I do. I've had an interest in dream interpretation for lots of years. This was a recurring dream that I actually haven't had in recent years. It had steps in it, and the steps always represented, well, for years I wondered what they represented. They represent the really deep part of me on the inside. And this time, instead of looking up the steps, I was coming down the steps. So I took that to mean I've done a lot of my work and really transformed myself. So now, out of all that, I got inspired to write a poem. And this is a really unusual thing for me to be doing, writing poetry. When I was a teenager, there were two things I totally couldn't do: sing and write poetry. And now I sing in a choir and I write poetry, so I'm not quite sure what happened. So here's what fell out, and I think you'll see it's really themed with what we've been talking about this month. Creating from oneness, unique in my kind, a bright shining beacon from infinite mind, loving abundance, it calls itself me, the infinite storehouse to do, have, or be. My road in the wilderness, ripe and untamed, explosive emotion from passions unnamed. From dark, soulful chaos, one truth do I know. My true inner calling carries me in the flow. into the temple of Spirit's true form. Abundance, joy, beauty, this is my norm. Down the steps of the infinite, out to the street, loving perfection in all who I meet. My freedom, my choice, this is blessing indeed. Crafted perfection, my wish meets my need. In perfect creation, I'm the jewel in the crown. Bright and integral, glory abounds. In a forest of God lights, we're equal and free, a vast river of power to an infinite sea. The tide of humanity reaching new height. We all make the big picture, all our gifts shining bright. So I wanted to make the point that my good evolves into our common good, and the God presence in everyone is what is the truth, the perfection embodied in everyone. I've been attending seminars by the Diversity Inclusion Commission of CSL. And if you don't know that exists, I'm telling you about it. They do monthly seminars on how to be inclusive in our spiritual community, and the thought, this principle behind all of it is that we all come from the ones. So whatever divisions we think we see are really illusory. So that was all included in what I was writing. So that's my take on our common good. And now I'm going to read the affirmation once, and then I'll read it again, and you can follow me. I see the light in everyone I meet. I see the light in everyone I meet. And now I invite everyone to get present and comfortable in this moment. I know that there is one perfect universal source. All experience, all transformation comes from the one source. I know that in this moment, I am the perfect expression of divine love and creativity. I look around and I see the perfect expression of divine love present in everyone. And I know that all of us, in our own way, have gifts to bring to the common good. And together we create a world that works for everyone, a world that lets everybody be their glorious self to express who they truly are. I'm grateful to live in such a perfect, harmonious world. I'm grateful for the unity and the diversity that is the truth for all of us. I know that this is the truth. I say it with peace and confidence. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Beautiful. I love your poem. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. So with that, and you know, it's so beautiful, Nick, because it follows right into a new song that Aidan's going to sing, written by Charles Holt, and then flows right into my talk, and it's like, oh my goodness, how perfect. So thank you, Nick. And take it away, Aidan.
An angel asked me, do you know who you are? The gas questions and the answer is not very far. The song of the sages, the knowledge of the ages is living where you reside. You have the key that unlocks the door to enter in that sacred place you've never been before, where deep meets deep and soul meets soul. Feel that connection as the truth unfolds. I am, I am, I am, I am, you are, I am. You are the answer, yes, you have the key that unlocks the door to freedom and leads you to me. Look deep inside you, the force that guides you and knows the way. That no separation, we're one and the same. The child of the Creator, known by different names. The Alpha and Omega, the eternal flame that burns deep inside you. Do you know my name? I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are, I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. I'm all the stars and constellations, I am. You are, I am. I am. I am. I am. You are, I am. I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. From the stars and constellations, I am. Say you are, I am. Sing with this. I am. I am. I am. You are. I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. I'm all the stars and constellations, I am. You are. I am. From the mountains to the oceans, I am. From the rocks to the trees, I am. All the stars and constellations, I am. You are. I am. I am. I am. You are. I
Okay, we're going to keep a little bit of rhythm going here. I want to hear I am, and then you turn to somebody, you are. I am. You are. I am. You are. I am. You are. Fantastic. Thank you. Are your vocal cords warmed up? Got some energy moving there? I am, and you are. The question is, do you really know how brilliant and amazing you are? There's dead silence. They're thinking about it. Let me think about that one. Oh, I love this line in the song. The question and the answer is not very far, right? It's all in here. And the metaphysical meaning of I am is spiritual identity. So how are you identifying yourself in the world with yourself and with other people? And are you willing to just be all of it? Be all of it, all the time, all of who you are, whenever that, in any different circumstance, letting yourself show up and express all of who you are. So on Wednesday night, now people are going to start hate going out with me because I use it for my talk on the Sunday. So Wednesday night, there were 5 of us that went to see or to hear Martin Kerr perform, who is a performer from Edmonton. He's played a lot in the New Thought world. I first met Martin in Edmonton at a Canadian New Thought conference about 5 years ago. And Jonathan and I were there together, and Jonathan and Martin know each other quite well. So, and I was hanging out, and, we hung out a little bit during the conference, and then Martin invited us to his house. He had 2 kids at the time. He now has 3. Met his wife, and then drove Jonathan and I to the airport. And I'd been in touch with him a little bit on Facebook because I'd like him to come and perform here. And then I saw him last February at the Centers for Spiritual Conference in Irvine, California. So he's coming down, and I say to Martin, and he's hi, and he gives me a hug, and we're talking. I said, yeah, a bunch of people from CSL. And he's like, yeah, your face kind of looks familiar. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, yeah, well, you told me about the concert on Facebook. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I know he meets a lot of people, so I wasn't taking it personally. But then somebody else goes, oh, my God, I love you, to him, who's in the audience today. And for some of you know, you could probably figure out who that is. And she's just like so expressive and just, I love you so much. You're so amazing. You're wonderful. He will never forget her. Ever. Ever. I was forgettable. She's not. But the great thing is here this person is just out there being who they are, which is this vibrant, expressive bundle of joy. And, how many of us would actually have the courage? Like, I don't do that, right? Like, go around going, I love you, to people I haven't even met yet. So, but it's that willingness to just put yourself out there as you are. Because the I am is that metaphysical meaning of I am joy, which is an expression of my spirit. I am peace, which is an expression of my spirit. I am beauty, which is an expression of my spirit. Whatever it is for you. And the great thing is, it's like what you said, Nick, we are so diverse in our expressions. We don't all have to be like this person. Well, nobody could be this person anyways, because nobody could be anybody else. I could never be that. We are all unique and individualized expressions of this one I am. But are you fully embodying your own unique expression and loving yourself for the way you do express? Or do you have that constant chatter of like, oh, maybe that was too much, or oh, maybe that should have been more, maybe I wasn't good enough here. Instead of, here I am, here I am. So we identify ourselves with that which we attach to ourselves. So when we are saying, I am stupid, I am not enough, I'm an idiot, or I'm poor, or I'm incapable, or, oh, did that catch it? I think I touched a nerve back there where it landed. When we are saying those things to us, ourselves, we are diminishing the absolute truth because we are putting layers over the true expression of who we are. So hit your I am first and foremost to I am an amazing, magnificent spiritual being. Can you say that? I am an amazing, magnificent spiritual being. First and foremost, before any of the other stuff, because we all have stuff. When we do that, joy and love and light and laughter and peace and grace must follow, because those are expressions of spirit. And I love this quote, peace in my heart, peace in my soul, wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I am. I am. And then I am that I am. I am peace. I am love. I am grace. I am creative. I am talented. I am capable. I am young enough for some people. If you have that I'm too old thing going on. Or I'm old enough for the feud back there. Sorry, it's easy to pick on you. So each one of us have the capability, when we know who we are, to look at some kind of condition in our lives. And who doesn't have conditions going on in their life? Like, really? Yeah, come on. We all do. What's important to know is that when you get to the I am a spiritual being and I have the power within me, then I have the power to change that condition. Nobody else does, but I have the power to change my conditions. And it is the same creative power that actually created the crappy condition. We were just not paying attention, not being aware, and misusing the energy. When we get to knowing who we are, then we can start to use the energy in this healthy, loving, constructive way. Change our consciousness, and the conditions must change. They must. They must. And here's why. So, do you know what a pig iron is? Yes, Tony would be the only one who knows what that is. we were actually reading this in our Science of Mind study group. So a pig iron is an intermediate product of the iron industry. And it's also known as crude iron. And you can go back and read about that in chapter 4, Mark. And so it's first obtained from a smelting furnace, and it's formed into these oblong blocks. So it's these blocks of iron. Now, the pig iron, or the block of iron, is thrown into the furnace, and it's melted. Then, that which is solid, right, from that block becomes liquid, and then it is poured into a mold. Now, the mold can be any shape, any form, any size you want. And then it takes on that particular shape of the mold and becomes something else. This is what happens for us. So, our energy, thoughts, and beliefs is like liquid. And we pour it into a mold. The mold is what we call the law. The law doesn't care what mold you make. It's not going to go, Nick, that's not a good mold for you. Really, I think you should change it. It's not going to happen. It just, there it is, okay. And so, then form is created. We do this in our minds all the time. All the time. If we don't place the iron into a proper mold, just like if we don't place our thoughts into a proper mold, it will assume no shape. And you ever have that chaotic energy going on and everything's just going like this? That's no shape, because you haven't defined what it is that you desire for yourself. So when we are focusing our mind, think of our mind, our thoughts like vapor, and they're everywhere. And then we bring them into a mold. So they thicken in that mold and then show up in our experience. So imagine if every time we were saying, I am beautiful, and I'm creating that mold of beauty, and then beauty shows up in many, many forms in my life. I am prosperous and abundant. And then prosperity and abundance shows up in many forms, not just one. It can show up in many, many forms. I am love. And then love starts to show up in many forms. We need to create the mold in our mind first in order for it to show up in our lives. Usually we're waiting for it to show up in our life and then I'll say okay to it. It's not how it works. It is the hardest thing for people to wrap their head around, is that we create the molds in our mind that then our life experience shows up, because then we are drawing to us whatever is equal to that mold. That's what we call mental equivalency. Therefore, think about what molds do you want to start creating in your mind? Because the possibilities are limitless. They're infinite. Infinite. So, know that this is where our own focus and power resides within us. So the mystical heart of the world's religions is identity to the true self. This is what all the mystical religions are speaking about, is identity of who we truly are, not what we've been told or what we think erroneously or falsely about ourselves, but to come back to that understanding that we are love, we are divine spirit, we are this beautiful, infinite, creative, powerful energy, and that we can direct it and create from it in our lives whatever it is we desire. So, I want you to think for a moment of something that your heart truly desires. Whatever that is for you, whether it's like the perfect relationship or tons of money or perfect health, whatever that is for you, just close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes. Whatever it is for you, imagine that you are creating this mold. You are creating this mold for spirit to pour in whatever it is that you desire. Whatever that is. And then say to yourself, I am whatever it is you're desiring. I am peace. I am prosperity. I am health. I am love. Whatever that is for you. And breathe it in. Breathe it into your being. And just take note of what that feels like for you. And then say out loud, I am. I am. I am. Affirm it. Now, you can open your eyes. Here's another thing. Be careful not to think that because we create the form, that we also create spirit. No. Spirit's just everywhere. Everywhere. Because everything is energy that comes into form, right? But spirit, we don't have to go and find spirit. We don't have to look for the spirit to fill the mold. No. It's already there. Our job is to create the mold because we already are spirit. It'll fill in naturally. And doesn't that take a lot of pressure off? Because how many people are going, I got to go find spirit over here, and I got to find spirit over here, and I got to do this to find spirit and that to find spirit. No, just get clear on what you want. Create the mold. You are mold creators this week. You are creating your mold. The spirit will fill in. But here's the other thing. Also, make sure that you don't start doubting that the mold is maybe, well, I don't know if it's working, right? Let it all happen. That is the release and let go. Let it all happen. So, all you have to do this week is be creating molds from the I am that I am. I am peace. I am creating that mold of peace. I am creating that mold of prosperity. I am creating that mold of whatever it is your heart desires. And you can have it. You can have it. It's all there waiting for you. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter what's happening now. At any moment, say yes to I am, whatever that is. And so let's know this absolute divine truth in prayer by understanding that there is only one creative power, one infinite, intelligent energy that is omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniactive through all of life. And that is who and what I am right here, right now. I am the mold creator. I am all that I am, and I express all that I am in each and every moment. knowing that it is Spirit expressing divinely and perfectly every single time. And for that understanding, that knowing, and the recognition that all I need to do is place my faith that I am surrounded by a benevolent, loving universe that only wants the best for me. Only wants the best. And so, with that, I can just release it, let it go, and let that beautiful, divine I am energy flow. And together we say, and so it is. Namaste. So with that, I'm going to invite you to say, I am prosperous, and I am giving, and I give to my center joyously, and with an open, grateful heart as the baskets go around, and we sing, I release and I let go. So take it away, Aiden.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the grace of God was at hand. But now I can say if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. And this is what I have to say. Release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm falling for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Said I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm falling for God.
I give great gratitude for the flow of prosperity. We're in the flow, and I'm grateful for the generosity of these gifts to enrich all of us and contribute to our spiritual emergence and transformation. I release the word to the law. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
And I let go. Let the Spirit run my life. Said my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. Said I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. Said I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. Said I'm free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God.
Woohoo! Okay, couple of announcements. Number one, I want to say, first of all, if you are on Facebook and you ever want to know more about healing with essential oils, follow Carrie Garnier. She has so many incredible tips. Oh, and on Instagram. So there you go. Yeah, just thought I'd bring that up. And we have our Science of Mind study group that is on Wednesdays. We also have a board meeting today, and we're going to do it early because I know people want to get out. Apparently there's this whole weather thing happening. I don't know. But anyways, if you want to join us for the board meeting, you're certainly welcome to. That's at 12:30. Now, on Sunday, March 24th, we are going to have a healing circle. And a healing circle is where you get to come and receive prayer from all of the practitioners. We do a whole circle of prayer all around you, and you just sit there and take it all in and receive your good. So you can attend that. That's free on the 24th. The Tao ceremony is on April 6th. I'll have some flyers out for you next week. You can take them home. If you're interested in the Tao ceremony, it's on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. upstairs. And then, of course, there is Lisa's Blow in the Face play. There's a flyer in the lobby, and we're going to pick a night where a bunch of us will get tickets. Oh, you got the night picked? Oh, okay, Mark's in. Oh, and Mark is also going to organize, I'm calling you out on this, Mark. Mark is going to organize a night of the escape room. If anybody's done the escape room, it's supposed to be super, super fun. He was just talking about it, so we'll pick a date, and then whoever wants to go, we can all sign up, and we'll go and do the escape room, which would be kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see what shows up and how much you stay in the I am spirit part, as opposed to letting all the control patterns come out. But it should be a lot of fun. And with that, I want to say thank you to Brendan and Aiden, Dominic, Rustin, Brian, and Carrie, Kim on camera, Cohen on sound. Thank you to Tony, to Margaret Ann, to Ellen, and thank you, Ellen and Dominique, for your meditation this morning. Nick, thank you for your beautiful poetry. And our community practitioner today is Margaret Ann. She will be in the back room if you want to have treatment. And with that, I'm going to say thank you to all of you online. Thank you to all of you here today. And we are going to kick it off with...
You ain't seen nothing yet. But not by the Steve Miller Band. Think there's nothing new under the sun. If it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage is already set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. Sun'll come out with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of your promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it to see it. If you think you finally made your bed, there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet you ain't seen nothing yet. The sun'll come out with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of your promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it to see it. Believe it to see it. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. No, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. you planned. Believe it to see it, believe it to see it. And you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Thank you. Have an amazing week, everybody.
2, 3, 4.